Hello everyone, my name is Omer, and I'm doing exercise 2. I apologize if my speech is a little bit nasally. Um, I just have a mild cold right now. But here's exercise 2. So step 1, watch the tutorial video, which I did right over here. So after you watch that, you have to download SQL. So that's exactly what I did. I clicked on here, and then you're brought to this page when in this case you have to download the for my case I'm Intel, so I downloaded this version, and you want to download the DMG one, not the tar file, because that won't work. So after you download that, you want to confirm it that you downloaded it. So you go here, system preferences, you go to MySQL, and it's over here. So you have it's 8.1.0, so this is the current version that I have running. So that's very convenient. But another thing is that a step that was not mentioned is how to download the Workbench. So for the MacBook users. So what you want to do is you want to go here to this link, and over here I'll be more specific. And you want to go to MySQL product archives, and you want to go to MySQL Workbench archive versions, because in my case I'm running on a older version of the MacBook. So I haven't updated my version. I'm currently on 12.6.5, so the latest version of this Workbench is not going to work. So I had to do 0.30 or 0.31. I don't remember which one I did, but I did one of those two ones. And after you download it and you open it and you do a whole setup process, you'll be brought to this Workbench over here. So what you want to do is, I apologize for that. You want to go to my database, and you want to connect to database. And I already have John set up, but you want to go to local instance 3306, and once you connect to that, which I will do really quickly, that's okay, continue anyways. I'm brought to an empty page because I didn't put anything on here, but you want to go here, schemas, administration, and you want to go to, I believe it was user and privileges, and you want to add account, and after you add account, oh, another thing I did miss is that while setting it up, here, uh, it'll ask you to create a password. So I created a password, so for the localhost 3306, and I'm going to create the same password for John, which is exactly what I did over here. Well, it's not letting me click on John, but you type in John, and you do the same thing. I added my password over here as the same as the other one to make it easier. And once you add John, you apply, and then you want to go to administrative roles and give every single role to John. And after that, after you apply, you click save. I believe, just making sure. Yeah, so I believe you want to go to database, manage connections, and then I typed in John over here and added the password. So all of that showed up after I did that. And then after that, I did connect to database, and then John would show up there. And after John showed up, I'd go back here, exit out of that. Let's open up MySQL again. Interesting, it's not showing up. It's exit out of MySQL really quickly. There we go. For some reason, my SQL is very glitchy on my MacBook, but it works. So then John should show up over here. So once John shows up, you want to click on this. Yep, continue anyways. And then I already have the code here, but this code is basically from this sample code given over here. So I basically copied and pasted everything from this all the way from here. And the next step you want to do is that you want to make sure every line of code is working. So you click on this, you do command enter. It's giving me an error because I already created one before, but yeah, so this is giving me an error, and the reason for that is because I already created it, and it's saying test can't create it because it's already basically created. So ignore that part. But you basically do command enter for. You actually don't know command enter for these lines. You want to do from here, and then do that, and then command enter for every single line over here, as so. This part will come in later, but you stop here. So you command enter for that, and then you stop there. After that, you want to go to your test2.java. So in this case, I already have it set up, but just to show, it's in my Eclipse workspace. I go to my servers, my database master, src, and I open my test2.java in a text editor. So I open a text editor, which I believe is right over here, and you want to get to this line over here. I'm not going to show my password because that is a confidential password. So but yeah, basically you add a password here, and you do all that, and you click save. And once you click save, I believe you want to compile. Yep. So once you do that, you want to go to your terminal. I'll make it more easier for you guys. So you want to compile first. For me, in this case, the MacBook. So you do this to compile the the Java code. So once I compile that, it should. Let's see. I believe this was my compile. Yeah. So it's compiled over here. So I compiled over here, and then after that, I want to do this line of command over here to run the Java program. So I go over here and I run this. And in this case, it's going to give me an error because a time zone is unrecognizable as such. So basically you want to add this line of code over here. So this line of code basically will set the global time zone, and it will from the database, and it will run the program. So once I added this, I can do command enter, and it's working perfectly fine. So once I do that, let's see, right over here. So I have to compile the program again. So I compile it again over here, and then I run it, and now this time it will give me a table to print out. So I can choose from a table. So John Smith, and then Kathy Brown, all these people, and these are the results. So that's pretty much it for the most part, I believe. Just want to make sure. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, that's essentially how that works. And I guess explaining it line by line, I guess I can do that. So these are all the libraries you import, and then create all the private static variables. And then here this is the main function. You do a try, and then this will print it out. This will print out the table, and all this, it's already explained in the comment here that this will load the MySQL driver, which has its own driver, and this will set up the connection with the DB. So as explained, all this basically will do set up the connection with in this case I was gonna say localhost, but in this case it would be John would be my localhost because that's what I'm connected to from the database. And then this entire line was basically allowing the issue SQL queries to the database. So this will allow the SQL to connect to the database properly, and then this will set the result of the SQL query, and this will set all that, and this will write the result, essentially. And then over here is the prepared statements. All of this. The prepared statement, this will execute the update from this previous line of code. And then it will catch an exception to see if there's an error. If there's not, then it will go on to this one over here. Well, it won't go on to this. This is basically like a class or another function, not a class, a function to get data from the database, essentially. Metadata, more so specifically. And this will also get the result as well from the SQL query over here. And then this is another function to, I believe, to get the data set. I apologize for the coughing again. It's very difficult for me to talk. But, so yeah, this will get the column names, the column number, and it will set all that, and then it will print out all the addresses and statuses, and the name of the column numbers, the names, addresses, and etc. And then this will close the results. So this function over here will just close all the results set, and it will catch an exception at the end to see if there's like a error. But that's essentially the entire code explained, and and I believe that's it. So yeah, thank you for watching.